Hi everyone, welcome back to Quest for Literature. Today we are going to see about the literary form, the epic. Before getting into the video, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, do subscribe, click on the bell icon and enable all options so that you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. So let's get into the video. Let's get into the video. I hope you all know what epic mean by. In Indian literature, we have epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana. When we see the classical literature, the classical example of epic in European literature is Iliad and Odyssey, which was written by the great writer Homer. So, when we see Odyssey, that is a long tale in verse, and the principal characters are famous heroes. That was handed down from generation to generation by word of mouth in song and story. When we see Iliad, that existed before Homer as a folklore, as an oral literature. What does Homer did is Homer collected its scattered fragments together to form a splendid whole. Events of the epic is magnified by the tradition and poet's own imagination. Some epics undoubtedly belongs to actual history. The best example for that is the Siege of Troy. The mighty warriors and princes are the leading figures and they really exist. In the poem, they are given superhuman dimensions, and the action here are subjected to personal intervention of gods. Gods presided over their destinies and form a separate group of characters in epic, and they have their own lovers and rivalries. In almost every classical epics, you can see these characteristics features. Supernatural and magical elements are always prominent. The language of the poem is noble and exalted because those are the words and deeds of gods and heroes. Grand style make no attempt to resemble common speech. Let's see the conventions of epic. The poets, those who write epic, they start imitating Homer in the general plan of epic. The general plans are such as the theme of the epic is stated in the first few lines and uses conventional poetic devices such as Homeric epithet and Homeric similes. Then the action of the epic is often controlled by supernatural agents. The next one, the epic contains a number of thrilling episodes. And the last one is the epic is divided into books. Usually it consists of 12 in number. Let's see the first one in detail. The theme of the epic is stated in the first few lines. That means it is accompanied by a prayer to the muse. The technical term for the statement of the theme is known as proposition, and we call the prayer as invocation. And Virgil, in Virgil's Aeneid, Milton's Paradise Lost, you can see they begin the epic with invocation, begins with a clearly defined proposition and invocation. One is the uses of conventional poetic devices. Here they focus mainly on two things. One is Homeric epithet and the next one is Homeric similes. Homeric epithet is a term or a phrase, sometimes quite lengthy, applied again and again to a particular person, place or thing. In Tennyson's Morte d'Arthur, Sir Bedivere is always the bold, clothed in white, cement, mystic, wonderful. The ripple washing in the reeds, the wild water lapping on the crag. These things you can see it repeats again and again for a same person. That is why it is known as epithet. Tennyson called Homeric epithet as faint Homeric echoes. One is Homeric simile. That is, the comparison between two similar objects develops into a piece of elaborate description, a word picture, almost a short poem itself, designed to capture the reader's imagination. The example you can see in Matthew Arnold's Shohab and Rustam. Simile grows almost into an independent poem which can be read and admired apart from the tale itself. Next one is the action of the epic is often controlled by supernatural agents. In almost all the epics, you can see this particular element. In Homer and Virgil, the classical gods and goddesses are the main characters in the epics. In most ancient European epics, the Old Norse deities plays a prominent part. In Spenser's Fairy Queen, you can see the characters are the personifications of good and evil qualities. In Milton's Paradise Lost, there are only two human characters, and they are passive in the strife between the power of heaven and hell. One is the epic contains a number of thrilling episodes. The thrilling episodes like mustering of troops, battle, duels, wandering ordeals. All these are modeled upon Homer or Virgil. The last one is the epic is divided into books and usually 12 in numbers. The upcoming informations are very, very important for those who are preparing for competitive exams related to English literature, because they had often asked questions like how many books are there in Iliad, Odyssey, and so on and so. So let's see. Iliad, it consists of 24 books. Odyssey, 24 books, and reduced number was first adapted by Virgil. And Spenser's Fairy Queen, it has 12 books and it is remain unfinished. And Milton's Paradise Lost also have 12 books, but when it was published first, it has only 10 books. Let's see the moral purpose and other features of epic. Moral purpose was not prominent in early epic. Virgil and Homer patriotize and they talk about national pride in their epic. The Italian poet Tasso introduced moral and didactic elements into his Jerusalem Delivered, which was completed in 1574. Spenser follows Tasso in his Fairy Queen. And the intention of Fairy Queen is to fashion a gentleman in virtuous and gentle discipline. When it comes to Milton, the purpose of Milton's Paradise Lost is to justify the ways of God to men. Dr. Johnson says about the didactism in epic as the moral of the other poems is incidental and consequent. In Milton's, only it is essential and intrinsic. Let's see the types of epic. Epic is the result of natural growth in popular song and story, or conscious literary effort on the part of artist. So we have two ways there. Depending upon that, we have different types of epic here. Okay, the epic of natural growth, you have folk epic, epic of growth, or authentic epic. Then the epic that grows consciously with literary effort on the part of the artist, that means the poet, is literary epic or the epic of art. Let's see about folk epic. It is not the work of one man. The modern research says that before being formulated into an artistic whole, it existed in fragment for a long ages, forming the stock in trade of wandering minstrels or storytellers in verse. Iliad remain in fragments before Homer composed it. The author remain unknown in this type of epic. The examples are in English Beowulf, in French the Song of Roland. One is a literary epic, that is the work of art deliberately planned in epic manner in imitation of its original prototype. Comparatively, the late products such as Virgil's Aeneid, Tasso's Jerusalem Delivered, Spenser's Faerie Queene, Milton's Paradise Lost, these are the examples for literary epic, that is the product of an individual genius. In modern, heroic style has gone out of flavor. Epic, like poetic drama, almost ceased to exist. Thomas Hardy's The Dynasty, the great epic drama of Napoleonic War, designed on the grand style. The author's attitude and treatment are very different from that of his predecessors. Let us see about a mock epic. I hope you know what you mean by mock. Mock means parody. In Italy and France, they set the fashion for a parody of the epic form. They found imitators in England. The theme of mock epic is unworthy of the serious epic, that is clothed in all the traditional parameters and solemn dignity of the epic form. The classical precedent of mock epic is the Battle of the Frogs and Mice, a Greek parody of Iliad. In English, Pope's Rape of Lock, one of the most famous epic of English literature. It celebrates an absurdly trivial theme, the theft of a lock of hair from a girl's head in the epic manner. One factor of mock epic is that there is no connection between the theme and the treatment. Pop's poem is in complete epic form. It opens with proposition and invocation, celestial missionaries and supernatural elements you can see there, the representation of the spirit of earth, air, water, and fire. There are a lot of dramatic episodes, war, battle, everything is there, and all the other devices of classical epics you can see in the mock epic. The little has been made great, the great little. That is what Hazlitt says about mock epic. That's the end of today's session. Thank you all for listening. The time we meet next, stay tuned to Guest for Literature. Keep reading and know the world.